your follow-up game is something that a lot of people don't do, especially when it comes to like your dreams or something you want. You know, when you do a job interview or whatnot, you done your interview, how many people send like maybe like 2 days after send a follow-up email saying, hey, I want to thank y'all for, checking me out and blah, blah, blah. And, just one. So, okay, three, okay, four. Okay. So that's something that I want to strive everyone in this room to always do, whether it's a job, working with people, just anything, just that follow-up has to be so to the point where you're not bothering somebody, but you want to necessarily just make sure that the person that you're trying to work with, that you stay on their mind. I'm gonna give you, for instance, part of my career as far as just being an entrepreneur, I got to this point so I used to work, I worked several retail jobs. I worked at Cole Haan, The Gap, David Yurman. And I feel like God kind of gave me a certain schooling of like, I've seen everything from footwear to clothing to luxury. And, I got all those jobs just from making sure that my follow-up game was right. But even from then, taking those roles to being an entrepreneur, when I decided to leave David Yurman, I decided to pursue my dreams of not only just, kind of making it in the fashion world, but also just in the world in general. I did a lot of creative direction for like a couple of music artists. And this is just a story I want to just tell you just because it goes with being tactful. But so anybody familiar with Saha the Prince? Right? So that's like my big brother, but like my homie, like forever, like my road dog, right? And he was one of the people when I had Antique Society, kind of like he wore that first brand as well too, and he was kind of the first people that really told me, Antoine, you're stronger than a 9-to-5. You're stronger than working somebody else's dream. I think it's time for you to like go do your own thing, right? And with that being said, I told you I quit my job and I packed up all my stuff and I moved from Atlanta to LA. I know you're like, you did what? In a Dodge Challenger at that too, by myself, right? It was kind of like a calling that God told me. It was like, you know what? Yeah, forget that job. Let's go ahead and let's get this dream started, right? Moved to LA, right? Sahai, once again, partner of mine, he was like, man, if you need a place to crash, blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, I've always told somebody, anybody who wants to get in fashion, if you're not ready to, figure out where you laying your head at, or figure out, okay, do we want to go make our lunch, or we want to go get some food, right? Just thinking about like the budget of fashion cost. Like it costs a lot of money. If you only knew how much I spent to get to this point to see y'all would be like, ooh, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, this is my dream. Talking to y'all is my dream. I honestly feel like God put me on this earth to not only just be a vessel of, inspiration, but also just a vessel of just determination as well too. Like, fashion is something I've given my all to, and I will continue doing that. And, hopefully I inspire someone at the same room that we're in right now. You also want to like follow up with yourself. Being an entrepreneur is tough versus having a 9-to-5. And when I say it's tough, a 9-to-5, 9 times out of 10, you have a schedule. You kind of already know what your Tuesday look like, what your Thursday look like. But when it's like an entrepreneur, if you're not following up with yourself to make sure, okay, Tuesday we know we need to do this right here, and Thursday we need to do right there, you can kind of go in a wormhole of being super unproductive. And then also just following up with people around you, like your employees. Like, it's okay to be like, hey man, I'm just checking in. Did we get this together or whatnot? Because that's how you become not only just a stronger leader, but I don't like the word boss, but just like a truly like boss of your company, just making sure that you stay on top of things.